Yeah.
It's having gratitude for what happened and what will be. Hello, hello, and welcome back to Chairlift Chatss, the podcast where everyday conversations take flight. My name is Chelsea Widdicombe, and I'm one of your hosts. And as always, I'm joined by my brother.
James Widdicombe, great to be with you. Back for another podcast.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about this week?
Let's talk about the burnt toast theory.
The burnt toast theory.
What do you think that means? What's that sound like to you?
That can be taken in many different ways.
Yeah.
But for me, are you asking me, do you reckon? Or?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, I actually didn't know what the burnt toast theory was until someone explained it to me, a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And apparently the definition of the burnt toast theory is that when you get up in the morning and you're in a bit of a hurry, you're going to work and you put some toast on and you're doing some other thing, you're getting your bag ready, you're getting your drink ready, you're getting everything ready at the
Making a
same
cup of
time,
tea, all of that.
and you accidentally burn the toast. And it costs you, usually when you burn a piece of toast, it's 5 minutes? 10 minute period where it's cost you. And that 5 to 10 minute period is called the burnt toast theory for a reason, because you'll hear stories of people going around saying that they have potentially saved themselves from getting in a major car accident on the freeway going to work that day. And if they had left the 10 minutes earlier, it could have been them in that accident, or it could have been the bus hitting that person. There's multiple things that could have happened in that period of time with the burnt toast theory.
Yeah.
So I believe that's what it is, but there's so many different takes on that, and I think that's what we're going to explore today.
Yeah, it's a concept that I'm also new to. I had someone send me an article on Facebook about it, and it was about someone about to get on a plane at Sydney Airport, and the plane was delayed due to engine failure. And the thing is, this was a late flight, and you might not know this, but Sydney Airport has a curfew, so no one can fly between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. And so what this meant is that they had to then go through security and immigration and all of that again, only to be given Uber vouchers to get home, and then, given a new flight for whenever. And this article really emphasized that everyone was really grumpy and upset and carrying on. But the article writer said, my reaction was, thank goodness that they found this failure before we were in the air.
Yeah.
It's having gratitude for what happened and what will be. I was really inspired by that because, it's the classic romance movie plot, really, when you think about it. It's the lady's running late to work, and then she runs into someone with the coffee tray, and only because of, that moment caused this moment to then happen.
Yeah. And I mean, look, when you get delayed at an airport or anywhere for that matter, it's frustrating. Everyone just wants to get home, or you might be. I remember only a couple of weeks ago when I was up in Queensland, the plane was delayed by a couple of hours, and you end up having a really good time while you're doing it. It's all an experience when you're doing these things, and this is everyday life, really. I ended up having a really nice chat with a gentleman at the bar that day. We were waiting for the airplane and delayed again, and eventually we got on. But if it wasn't for that delay, you don't actually have the conversation with that person.
Yeah.
And you never know who you're talking to. So I think it can lead to so many different things, that whole burnt toast theory.
Yeah.
And
not dwelling on that. Yeah, it is impressive because...
But it's hard to take it the right way.
Yeah, you've really got to... I suppose you've almost got to retrain your brain to think about it differently, in the sense where our brains are so wired to think of the negative. The classic explanation of this is, you ask someone how their holiday was. Oh, yeah, it was good. But, they lost the luggage on the way over there. And then, James ended up in hospital because he had to get stitches in his knee or something. And as you're recounting this story to someone or someone's telling it to you, you realize this is all negativity because our brains are so wired to do this. So it actually takes a conscious effort to think, okay, take a breath, breathe in,
Yeah.
breathe out, and think, then react.
It's that typical, the holiday was fun, everything was sweet. I had some great
You know,
laughs,
this
great chats, but no, I lost my bag for 2 days out of the 20 days that I was there, and I was pissed off.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, just think about all the good that you've done rather than losing your bag. Because okay, and this is where perspective people get annoyed with that burnt toast theory in a way that okay, well, I didn't see any good that came out of losing my luggage. Okay, maybe not, but maybe you just missed the point.
Maybe there's a greater purpose.
There is a
here.
greater purpose to why you lost your luggage. Maybe something happened along the way that you did meet someone, but you just didn't take notice of that person or what happened that day to actually understand why that was happening. I think things happen for a reason sometimes, and it's not always you can't always explain it, but it's definitely cool to know that okay, things might happen, and it's just the wonders of life. Really, it just gets you out there and you experience different things for a reason. It's always
Absolutely.
that's the way it is.
And I think that's incredibly exciting, really, is there is so much in life that we are in control of, which I think is good. But also I think there's something special about divine timing and just leaving things up to fate to a certain extent, going, let's go with the flow. Let's enjoy this as an experience and see what comes out of it. You just never know. I mean, one of my favorite movies, it was a Netflix movie. Oh, what was it called? Love at First Sight. It's a really beautiful Netflix movie.
I hope it's not about that Channel 9 show, Love at First Sight.
No,
That's so
no, it's not
average.
reality TV. No,
Okay,
it's
good.
not. No, it's not Married at First Sight.
Oh, okay, good.
It's it's a Netflix movie, and what the story was about is this girl who had to go to England for her dad's wedding, and I don't know, she misses her flight or something like this, and so she ends up setting up her computer, and then someone needs to borrow her laptop charger or something like that, or a phone charger or something, and anyway, she meets this guy, and because she missed her plane, he ended up on her flight, and then his seatbelt didn't work, and got upgraded to a seat that was next to her, and the story continues from there.
There you
go.
go.
If that's not divine timing, I don't know what
And
is.
it is. It's God's plan. But we're gonna get to that in a sec. The whole God's timing as well. But I want to talk about something pretty scary that happened over the weekend. And I mean, we're not normally political or anything, but
we have to talk about the Trump stuff.
We have to talking about the Trump stuff. Trump was going to be assassinated over the weekend. It was bound to happen. Yeah. The bullet, the gunshot goes off, and Trump, at the last second, moves or tilts his head literally just slightly, and it clips his ear. Now, I'm sorry, you don't get shot in the ear for no reason. That is definitely someone watching out for him, that guy, because, okay, you might have your own personal views on the guy politically and, in life in general, but about what he's actually done. But you can't deny that someone was watching out for him that day, because you don't get shot in the ear and still live to tell the tale.
It's
incredible.
Really scary. It's a really scary experience to think that it's so heightened that and so divided that this is the way people are acting. It's really scary. But I saw a good post from Nancy Sinatra, actually, who is Frank Sinatra's daughter, and she wrote a post saying, if you don't like someone in America, like if you don't agree with someone politically, you just don't vote for them.
Yeah,
and I think
exactly. You don't go shoot them.
It's as simple as that. We need to just be human to each other.
And look, if you know that your political party's not going to win, look, okay, that's life. You've got to move on. And I just think it was just an incredible event that, and I've actually had people, on Monday morning call me up, and, they know that, we're talking about it over the weekend, and they've called me up and said, James, because they know I'm Christian, I've got Christian beliefs, I believe in God and Jesus, my Heavenly Father, and they said, I think I want to go get baptized, because I feel like now I've seen that Trump's very vocal in his beliefs for Jesus, and because of that, and the way the bullet missed his head and got his ear, two people actually I spoke to this morning from work said they want to get baptized. Now, whether they're taking that literally, I think all it's done is just made them think, hang on a second, there may be someone out there looking after this guy, and you know what? If you're not Christian, it should really give you an idea and perspective on life and think, maybe I should actually take Jesus a little bit more seriously, because he is looking out for everyone.
Yeah, it's incredible because these moments, I mean, when you really look at it in perspective, there was that image of the bullet that had missed. It's just not of this world to know that. But
Crazy.
Beside all that, I just loved, well, I don't love it, but I think it's incredible that an event like this creates
I just love the power.
authentic conversations, and
I love
people
the
are
power
being
behind it.
so raw with how they're feeling about a situation, and I think it's really nice that people feel that they can talk to you about
I
that
find
too.
it just so amazing that the power of my faith in Jesus, that sometimes you struggle so much to just tell people about how good it is, the good news of Jesus Christ, and then it takes an event like this to really show people. Hey, I wonder how many people have come and asked the question this morning about Jesus, because it's an insane thing to actually see it happen in real life, and it's got to give you some kind of idea. Okay, there's a guy sitting on a roof with a sniper, and he missed because he moved just a little bit, just a fraction. That just doesn't happen. I just think that's cool. But and this goes on with, like, again, the burnt toaster theory and everything. It's all kind of connected. So it's
all connected.
Powerful. It's all very powerful.
I am truly inspired by it because it's all about being in the moment and being mindful and being present and just taking each day as it comes, and really, you never know what life will bring, so you have to make the most of every day.
100%.
Go on that ski trip. It might be hard when you start snowboarding for the first time and you're falling down over and over. Yeah, I get it, it's hard, but how about that feeling when you make it down the hill, and you have your friends cheering for you?
Speaking of chairlifts and chats and the snow and everything, so again, we go back to what we've been talking about this podcast, but getting on a chairlift when potentially it gets stuck.
No.
Now, this does happen from time to time. You might be on one side of the mountain, because mountains are unpredictable with weather and everything. Yeah. So unless you get a bluebird day where it's pretty well guaranteed weather.
Well, bluebird day means the sun is out, clear visibility, and the snow is perfect. And powdery.
That's quite rare. But if you get a day where it's a bit cloudy, a bit windy, and you get stuck on the other side of the mountain, and it's you get blown away, and you have to get the tube back, or you get stuck on a chairlift, it's too dangerous. This is all part of the learning experience, and again, events that just seem to occur in your life and at random periods of time where fate is sort of in control.
And it's good to, I think, getting stuck on a chairlift for, it's usually not a super long period of time. I know it has, but for some people it can be long. But I think it's a good test to see where your mind goes. Let's just hope that
this doesn't happen to us in a couple of weeks.
Well, if it does, we know we'll get through it.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
We'll be together. We'll be with friends, or we might be with strangers. But you know what? We will be doing is talking about it.
We'll be talking about it.
We'll be promoting Chairlift Chatss,
and we'll be having a chat about it.
Actually,
that's for sure.
That takes me to the act of kindness for the week. Is okay. As we were saying, often the mind goes. Well, actually, it takes 1 second for a negative thought to come, and it takes 20 seconds for a positive thought to stick in your mind. Okay. And I find, in my experience, that when something's wrong, people will really tell you about it. They'll be very vocal, like the Karens in the shops. They'll be like, I hate this, whatever. Whereas when something's good, people go, thank you, that's lovely, and walk away and maybe never tell anyone about it. Don't do that. If something is good, if you have a good experience, tell people about it. So the act of kindness for the week is to write a review to someone, a good positive review.
A positive
Now,
review.
you can start off with this by leaving 5 stars and a written review of Chairlift Chats.
Yes.
That is one example, but if
need it.
we need it because it helps us to grow our community and find beautiful listeners like yourself. But, you know, we were at a restaurant with some friends and we left a review because we had a really lovely waiter. So why not spread the positivity?
That's it. Even if you're in the RTA or a public service, they always get, you know how you go to the RTA and they give you that ticket number and they go, please leave a review. Now, okay, you may not have had the best experience ever, but you know what? If you have had a good experience, just leave a good review because those people, anyone that I've always had the theory where if someone does a very good job, they deserve a very good review. But if they are terrible and are deliberately trying to annoy you or give you bad service, then they deserve a bad review because literally that's what they're asking for.
Well, it's accountability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just the way it is. But yeah, that's a nice act of kindness for the
It
week.
is, yeah.
So, but yeah.
I have one more story to finish us off with that really sums up the burnt toast theory.
Okay.
So you're part of this story. Is this week we caught up with our really good Canadian friends who were visiting.
Maddie and Cole.
Maddie and Cole, shout out. We'll include them on the socials. They are they've just been in Sydney visiting because they've just gotten married in Canada. But Maddie spent 8.5 years living in Sydney, Australia. And she was stuck here during COVID. She wasn't able to go see her family over Christmas until the Christmas of 2022, I believe. If I'm getting the dates wrong, please forgive me. Anyway, so she got to go back at this time period. And because she went home at this certain time, this is when she was able to reconnect with Cole. And Cole, her now husband. And they really got to spend a lot of time with each other. He is an avid snowboarder and taught Maddie to snowboard. And it was
great couple, great bloke, just awesome guy, awesome fella.
They are lovely. I'm so grateful for their friendship. But it was actually on the chairlift where they admitted their feelings for each other.
Very good.
So what a lovely story.
What a love story.
What a beautiful story. And what a way to end this podcast. The quote of the week as
Quote
well.
of the week, yes.
And that quote is, what is for you will not pass you. So essentially this means let it be. Trust in the timing of life.
What a great song.
Speaking words of wisdom, I am.
No,
let
very
it be,
good.
let it be.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a great way to wrap up the podcast. So, in review, the burnt toast.
The
burnt toast theory.
Trust in it. Work with it.
Yes.
Live it.
Trust the process and just live your life and let the good and the bad just go with it.
The yin and the yang of life.
And you never know, you might end up finding the love of your life, or you know what, you might end up finding eternal life through Jesus. So we'll leave it with you and let it rule your life. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe us on YouTube and listen in on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
And follow us on all our socials as well. TikTok, Instagram, all of it. Chairlift Chats with a double S.
And we'll see you on the next podcast. Are we on?
We're on.
We're on.
We are
okay.
on.
3, 2, 1.